Today I'm going to give you some tips for hauling your quilt stuff, whether you're going to a sew day or a retreat. The first thing I want to talk about is selecting your carry cases. Now you can just throw it in a bag and carry your stuff, and that's okay if that's what you want to do. But I think there are some things you should consider. Number one, what kind of handle? Do you do over-the-shoulder bags very easily? Now sometimes over-the-shoulder bags are hard for people to carry because they constantly will slip off. Well, as we age, when that slips off, it starts to bruise your forearm and can even cause skin tears. So if that happens to you frequently, you might want to choose a bag with short carry handles. Now, I could use this for an over-the-shoulder bag, or I could carry it just beside me. But I'm tall, so it won't drag the ground. So if you aren't very tall and you have to hold your bag up like this to carry it, your muscles are going to get very tired and very fatigued. So be sure you're selecting the right size handle for you. Now some bags come with the little hand-held handles and the shoulder bags. So be sure to choose carefully which one of those will work best for you. Another thing you might want to consider is to use a carry case that has rollers. Now this is a Tudo carry case that will hold your sewing machine and many of your sewing supplies. It has the 360-degree spinner wheels. Now these are a definite bonus. It is so much easier to pull these along on sidewalks and turn corners than cases that do not have those swivel spinner wheels. So that's another thing you can consider. Now this one is rather pricey. This one came from Walmart years ago, and it works okay, but sometimes it is difficult to maneuver because it does not have any type of spinner wheels. It just has wheels that just, they don't spin at all, spin or rotate. So those are some things you might want to consider. And rollers just lighten the load and make hauling your stuff easier. So if you have to haul your stuff a long distance, rollers are a definite plus. The next thing that has really helped me is I have a designated on-the-go quilt bag. This has everything I need to go to a sew day or a quilt retreat. The stuff I need for actual sewing. I've shown you this before, and I have a video out on my what's in my on-the-go bag. This really helps, and it's light enough to carry, and it doesn't take up just a ton of space. Now you do want to make sure it's fully equipped and use what's in your quilt room. Use all those duplicate supplies to fully stock this. And then you're not having to go to it and get things out of it that you need for everyday sewing in your quilt room. That way this is always ready and you always know you have the things you need for doing any type of quilting project. This next tip is super important for me. You want to make sure your bag has a good closure. This one has a zipper, this one has a zipper. Now I do use this to carry my UFOs. And I like the ArtBin containers because they have good snaps. And once these are snapped down, I don't have to worry about these coming open and spilling all over the sidewalk when I'm moving stuff from my car to whatever location I will be sewing at. And this has a nice sturdy handle. It can be carried like this, you can carry it like this, but be sure you have good closures. It's just horrible when these come open and spill your entire UFO on the floor in the hallway of a hotel or a retreat center. So again, be sure you have carry cases with good closures. Another important thing to remember is do not overpack them. They become so heavy, they're hard to carry. Now this bag, I've been wanting to switch my on-the-go bag to this bag. This bag is, I'm starting to have to dig a little bit in this. I don't like to dig. So I'm thinking of transferring everything to here. But this is a bigger bag. There's more pockets. I can fit more in here, but that means it's going to get heavier. And you don't want to injure your shoulder or strain your shoulder or your neck while you're taking your stuff into a quilt retreat. Also, carrying things that are too heavy can throw you off balance and put you at a higher risk for falls. So be sure you're taking care to not overload your bags and cases. Another tip I have for you is to be sure you're not carrying too much stuff when you make a trip from your car into whatever building you will be sewing in. Don't stack these so high that you can't see over them or that they're hard to carry. Be sure you can see the pathway in front of you. You don't want to be tripping over a crack in the sidewalk or a door jamb that you're not able to see. You don't want to have a fall and get injured. You also might want to consider using a assistive device with rollers to help you carry all your bags and containers into the building. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a portable dolly from Harbor Freight, and you can put some of your stuff on here and carry it from your car into the building this way. I've attached some bungee cords to help secure everything while it's in transport. Now, I like this device because it is very portable, but this is going to be a little bit harder to get your stuff on and harder to maneuver. Another thing about this is you're going to have to bend way down to the floor or lean way over to load this assistive device. Now this is a rolling foldable cart, and I used this for years and years and years. Again, one of the issues about this is that you have to get down low. So if you have difficulty squatting, this can be an issue for you. Now it does have nice wheels, so it's easy to maneuver. So you really need to consider the height of your assistive device. Here, the device that's going to help you get it all in. You also want to consider the portability of these. Are you going to be able to lift it, and is it going to fit in your vehicle once all your quilt stuff is there? The last thing I wanted to show you are these collapsible wagons. Now these are really nice, and they are up higher, so you're not having to squat down to load your items onto the cart. One factor for these is, though, you have to be sure you can pick it up. Now, this one's quite a bit heavier, but some people may not be able to pick that up because of the weight. Now it does fold down to a nice size, which makes it easy to put into your vehicle. And you can see these make just a nice wagon. These have rotating wheels that make it easy to maneuver, and you can put quite a bit of stuff in here to get it into the building. I have to say that nowadays these are my favorite because I don't have to get clear down to the floor to load and unload my stuff. They have the swivel wheels that make it easy. They collapse pretty well. They're not so heavy that I can't pick them up. If you have any tips that you'd like to share when it comes to hauling your quilt stuff, please be sure to put that in the comments below. And until next time, have fun quilting.